And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. As our Fist-Militia-led spoiled democracy. It's round 97. We killed 4 infantry over the entire, and we're going to be hit with a large number of decisions. 10 decisions coming up. Industrial accident is 1. Work crew accident's another. We got that demand completed. We're at war with a major again. That's not great. Force their hand. I'll probably pay to get the political power. Okay. First, law vote. To get this to pass, I'm going to have to do strong influence, which I can do.
Yes, sir.
Your decision to apply strong pressure, the vote favorably has changed. Militia +3, blah, 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 blah. 86 in favor, 13 against. There we go. Okay, I'm probably going to want more political power, so let's pop in here. We're going to trade that virtue off for political power. Force their hand here. Sir. Fix the political power. This is the situation. I do want Fist. I can take a little bit of rest to do that option.
Roger that.
Power there. We're still really trying to work on discovery. Because I would like hydroponics, would like heavy industry. Getting pretty close to wanting to slam it all into the research for the moment, but no.
Roger
Still focus the discovery heavily there.
Copy that.
We'll go with this option for the morality. Morality, either way, we're taking some word score. Or I suppose I could have taken an option that didn't cost us word score. We'll take some word score hit. Upgrade? No, that's not the capital. That's the one next to the capital. Come back to that. Enforcement for democracy or democracy for enforcement? Ooh, that's actually a good question. We'll come back on.
Yes, sir.
Appoint a commander. We got a whole bunch of terrible people, to be fair. Somebody need the political power just to go around firing people. You're the best for military use.
Order received.
I think democracy is easier to get, so we'll go with only industrialists.
Understood.
And we'll let that city upgrade. That's one of the bigger cities, so I can get a better bureaucracy there when the time comes. When the time comes. That might not be this turn. Okay, we're at the point where the tank could technically join in the low mountains, but it's low mountains. The tank needs to go off to a different theater. Tank showed up, did its bit, and it's time for it to leave the theater. Okay, we know some of them are on the other side of the mountain at this point. I'm gonna push across the mountain. That's probably the point to do it.
Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. accomplished.
And then we're at war way over here in the west. The best thing going for us over here in the west is that I don't necessarily think they were in position for this war. Yeah, I don't think they were necessarily in position for this war.
Understood.
Okay, so we threw a bunch of money at them. They're now receptive to our requests for peace.
Mission accomplished.
Okay, those marauders dealt with. Metal's trending up, which is a good sign. Bureaucratic office is done. Industry will be done next turn. Power is trending down. Let's start the power plant, and then I can start the biofuel refinery next turn, and then start probably the farm the turn after that.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, then we're back to... Do I want to survey the archaeological sites? It's kind of a yes.
Roger that.
Very rare. Ooh.
Roger that.
Okay, we now know that site is completely empty, so on to the next one.
Roger that.
And we're sure that one is empty of archaeological sites. And I haven't been able to go back to do that one. But yes, very rare. Even a pretty good ratio on the very rare. I'm gonna risk that I don't necessarily have the resources to do this, but we're gonna start getting the refining facility, or the recycling facility going there. I want those artifacts. I forget what's in the very rare tier. Is the very rare the cloning tier? I think that might be the cloning tier. If things are going well. And if anything, I kind of don't want them to go too well, otherwise we won't be able to get to, won't be able to be spoiled enough for a spell democracy here. Because we want to get to permanent militancy. If everything goes according to plan, I think we can deal with the mercanteers next turn. The slavers are going to be a little bit complicated, so they're going to get the other side of the mountain. Don't think all their forces are south of the mountain. So we know we're at war with these guys who are cycling right now. So while we thought they were at, well, I think we are at a position, that doesn't mean they're not going to come barreling in fairly quickly. In which case the map will pan very rapidly over to where they are. Okay, it looks like that was a good turn for us. Good end turn. It's round 98. We killed 1,000 infantry in the end turn, and we have 10 decisions. Low virtue effect. That's not great. Virtue is dropping. Research combat armor, which is good. Developed flat gun.
Yes, sir.
Indignation over opulence. We'll just take some democracy.
Roger that. Yes, sir.
At this point, I don't know any minors I actually really want to diplomacy with, so we're going to swing pretty heavily in favor of majors.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Guns for the infantry. In the meantime, we will develop our flak gun.
Aye, aye, sir.
Scrap it or continue it? We'll let it continue. We do like enforcement. I don't need autocracy, and 200 recruits is 200
Copy
recruits.
that.
Don't inspire anyone. Is what it is. We are Fist.
Affirmative.
I want the morality. I don't want the
Understood.
virtue declining too quickly. Democracy versus enforcement. That is 13 democracy is a lot to lose. 15 enforcement's a lot to lose as well. I'll do this option.
Understood.
More morality is going to help keep the virtue up. Industry 1 completed. I think we're making enough that I can go ahead and start up the construction on the biofuel refinery.
Sir, yes, sir.
And then we'll probably start the food farm up on the following turn.
Engaging enemy. Target destroyed.
Okay, 44 to 1, I think is probably good enough odds to get the Mercanteers to surrender.
Mission accomplished.
There they go, surrendering. Okay, let's negotiate a peace. We propose peace. They're actually heavily opposed to peace. Difficulty is 125. Modify the difference between your relation to the AI's intentions. So if you make them like you too much, that actually makes it harder. So you need a minimum of 25, but you also don't want them liking you too much. If they hate you. Further difficulty by positive from Fist, minus from Mine. So I've got high Fist and I got low Mine, so I'm making it more difficult for myself, which is fair. So honestly, that is a roll that I, in the current state, am not able to pass. That may become a problem. Okay, we're winning at the moment. A little concerned about how this front's gonna go. Given that I'm not able to immediately negotiate peace. Although I'm not worried about losing the game. We've got enough of a buffer state that we're not any way risk of losing. Okay, run the motorcycles down.
Mission accomplished.
They didn't have anywhere to retreat because they were in low mountains and their retreat path was actually into high. Field vehicles can't move in high. Okay, it's rough control of where I want the pass to go through, I think. Yeah, it's going to be up and over the mountain here. Unless I can come down around from the top. Which, even if I can come down around from the top, it's going to take a while to do. So, probably going to go over the mountain here. Chase after the slavers. L's going down because I'm building so much. I'm actually expecting it to burn slower because the industry cost 500, but the biofuel refinery is only 450. Which actually means I probably won't be losing any metal in the next turn. But then I'm going to add the farm, and then we're going to be losing metal from the farm. Power is going down, but that'll be solved with the power plant in 4 turns, and we won't run out in 4 turns. Probably when that's done, we can swap back to more bureaucracy, just continue expanding that bureaucracy. And yeah, we got our 4 militia laws passed. We currently have 10 out of a maximum of 13, so it's fairly unlikely they're going to come from my laws. Come from the 4 laws I actually care about. Don't have the tech level, don't have virtue too low yet for that. 30 plus syndicate, or virtue needs to be below 30 plus syndicate vote. So below 46 and we're at 55.4. So yeah, I want to avoid going to syndicate. I'm going to stay sort of neutral ideology. Although we're creeping up on that potentially being the way we end up moving into syndicate. We're not tech level 5 yet, although we're probably not far off. Syndicate faction has 16% of the vote, not 25. And it's 133 turns, we're at 98. I have 54 political power. Let's have a couple checks to make sure we're not missing opportunities for artifacts.
Roger that. Yes, sir.
Oops. Didn't mean to take money, but that's changing which card I had selected.
Roger that.
Clicking it. Okay, so we're sure that zone has no hidden stuff. Which is a shame. I like hidden stuff, but no hidden stuff there. Okay, this is the next semi-obvious one.
Roger that.
Sure, there's none there. This one's got 3, so we'll try here next.
Roger that.
Make sure there's none there. I suppose we could try there next, because there's 3 there, or 4 there as well. Although to be fair, we did find some very rare ones, and this is a pretty good deposit of very rare ones. Let's cycle that turn. And we're watching for surprises. Again, we weren't able to negotiate a peace deal with the major at war with. So at some point I'm going to have to respond to that. With something more than a couple militia in picket formation. Something a little bit more of an organized battle line would probably be required. So we can see the slavers have a couple units north of the mountain. They rolled up, they attacked us, they took a beating. Well, that might not have been slavers, that might have been one of the non-aligned units. Based on that teleporting around. Round 99, we killed 1,300 infantry and 10 motorized, took no casualties. 8 decisions awaited us. Grease the machines. I could trade more virtue for political power. I think we'll hold off a little bit.
Understood.
Democracy. You want enforcement profile to go up? I would too.
Roger that.
I'm gonna pass on these. The bureaucracy is getting bigger, so it's getting more and more tempting.
Yes, sir.
Hidden village. I do like my colonists. So, democracy.
Copy that.
We're also going democracy, so democracy.
Copy
Democracy. Send envoys to promote us.
Understood.
Here we go. Keeping them friendly. I have enough political power to take both these. I won't be able to do anything else. But we're going to want these initially.
Affirmative. Copy that.
Biofuels proceeding at speed. Power plants proceeding at speed. Second facility is done. I'm going to go for another level on that. 2
Affirmative.
levels, that's probably good enough. And I suspect that when the biofuel refinery is done, we'll need more food. So let's begin expansion of the agri-dome.
Sir, yes,
Make
sir.
that food.
Mission accomplished.
Here we go. Marauders dealt with. Application. Of course, the grand plan here is to get the road up and over the mountains. And that's the first hump. Getting to the top of the mountain. The next will be getting down off the mountain in the next turn. Then we'll be off into north side of the mountain. Also expanding northeast there, I think. Almost. Just gonna ask for peace. Oh, technically I could ask, I'm just gonna fail. I'm pretty sure failing is kind of the wrong direction. That we're not trying to fail.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, things I think are going well. Construction is doing what we want it to do. Hopefully it doesn't drain the metal too quickly with all that going on. Victory is sitting at 32.1. As we're nearing simple majority on the population, which is good. Could use more planet. Military research is going faster, which is good to see. Now we swap the balance over. Again, here we're kind of hoping either to hit heavy industry or hydroponics. If I can hit either of those, we'll probably swap over to progressive researching on the Eco Council. Yeah. And I could attack here. I just don't necessarily think it's a good idea. Well, that actually isn't too bad. I'll take a 10-1 attack.
Go, go, go!
Gives me a few more options for where to drop the road when we cross over. So I can go here to here or here to here. I think here to here is the way we're going to go, but more options is still just more options. Never complained about having too many options. Okay, let's cycle the turn before I think of something else to do. So there's one thing I could do, instead of being so laser focused on trying to get peace with the person who hates us and is trying to kill us, could try to sign some deals with some of the people who actually like us. Maybe I should put some effort into doing that. Definitely help with discovery, I think. I think at the moment we're behind them in tech. Although that's probably going to change pretty quickly once we get the bureaucracy running, because we've got more people at this point, so we can run more bureaucracy. But they had more at the beginning. It's a good way to think about it. So that's why I think they're ahead of us. Got attacked, we held, we inflicted damage, not bad. Okay, it's round 100. We killed 250 over the end turn. We got 8 decisions. Flint Union has violated our borders and declared war on us. Okay. You know, we'll go with that option. It is maybe a little bit tempting if I wanted to try negotiating peace to go with the mind options, but that's not what we're trying to do. Policy speech.
Yes,
Get
sir.
more mining levels. Populist target leader. Secretary's corrupt practices. This is the secretary that's being complained about. I'm not necessarily opposed to the secretary being kicked out. Yeah, I'm not opposed to the secretary being kicked out. I'm not doing things to the secretary most of the time. The secretary is basically the spy master, because we don't have a spy facility. We'll pay the political power to get the virtue increase here for kicking the guy out.
Roger that.
He's been exiled. That faction scores a major victory. Virtue goes up +3. Is justice people think justice is being served. Whether it is or not is debatable. Instant lack of action. Militia requires my attention. Yeah, the militia gets my attention. So what I could do here is I could run the mind and the mind.
Affirmative.
And that might give me enough that I can ask for peace in the West. And not have it be an auto-fail. It might not be a success. That's a different predicament. That is definitely a different predicament. Where's my proposed peace? Yeah, so 253. So we are 6 points short of having any success chance. So +6 mind. Because proposed peace is plus difficulty is plus fist minus mind, right? So if I got +6 mind, that would drop this by 6. We'd actually have a 1 in 100 chance of it succeeding. And then +3 mind here would bring it up to a 4% chance. I don't think a 4% chance is good enough. I think I'd want more than that. And if I'm going to go for more than that, I should probably go for... Okay, we don't actually... Oh, well, that's the other thing here, is... Do I want Fist badly enough that I'm willing to pick up autocracy? I'm gonna say no. So yeah, we're gonna take that mind option.
Order received.
And then I will go ahead and take the discipline and get a little more mind. Again, as I suspect, it's probably not making a big difference. Okay, the math, or because of rounding. Okay, the math didn't work out quite the way I want, but or quite the way I was expecting. No. Yeah. Okay. Rounded down by one down more than I was expecting it to. So we got a 3% chance of success, right? So if we roll 100, we beat the required minimum by 3, because by 2. So we went on, or we'll pass on 100, 99, 98 if I take this roll. I suppose I might as well just take that roll. It's only 11 political power.
Understood.
We failed. Regular failure has no penalties on there, so that's fine. And then Flint absolutely hates us.
Understood.
Critical success, they hate us a whole lot less. Because bribery is a magic power all its own. Yeah, not enough for us to negotiate peace, but a lot closer. This may also be a situation where they're wildly out of position. I'm not in good position, but I'm sort of in position. I definitely feel like I'm more in position than they are, which, okay, maybe isn't much of a stretch. Ooh, nice. This is going to be running with high-tech parts, because it's very rare. That's convenient. Yeah, I still very much feel like there we go. Finally seeing some enemies here. Okay, I think we've actually seen enough of them we can see how screwed we might be. Yeah, they're a tech level ahead of us. Tech level ahead of the best stuff I got deployed to Trooper 2s. Although we're coming up on catching up. Right, a couple more turns and we can do the redesign to swap over to Gauss and Combat Armor. It'll be a while before the militia catches up is the concern there. The militia makes up such a large portion of our forces that might be a problem.
We're taking fire! We're requesting backup. accomplished.
Okay. They're dealt with. I feel like we are about to, or have run off the end of the supply line here, logistically speaking, because these guys are in the red. Although, no, that's actually just how much ammo we're asking. So yeah, we're close to the end from an action point standpoint, or we're so subdivided that we're not getting enough ammunition up there, which isn't surprising. Kind of status quo, I suppose. Looking at it, I think this probably is about as good of a place as any to put a part break in and bring the stream to a close. If we go for another turn, we'll definitely be way over. And I'm already at, 4:30 in the morning. So it's definitely time for this recording session to come to a close. Construction-wise, things are going well. The next turn, everything should finish. And I might let everything finish so I can evaluate what we're short on. Like, are we short on fuel? Are we short on... Or let everything turn on before I evaluate... Or so I can evaluate what we're short on. Are we short on fuel? Are we short on food? I think we're going to be short on food is what we're going to be short on once everything's done being built. Should be positive on everything else. Could definitely go with more political power. We're definitely doing better than we were earlier, where I was feeling even worse, but always more political power. If you have enough political power, that just means you haven't got enough bureaucracy to generate the cards to play the political power. Tends to be what the case is. We're at 43.5% of the population under our control, 21.4% of the planet. We are definitely in podium position number 1, although we are fairly far away from winning. I'd have to do the math there to figure out if all the planetary population is captured. I know there's a couple of independent miners, so that isn't going to be all of it. But I think we might be actually at peace with all the remaining miners. Tech-wise, probably looking for hydroponics, looking for heavy industry to discover. And then I just need to get done with the research, get it researched, and we're making decent time on the military stuff. Yeah, actually, at the current rate, we'll be done with Gauss. Gauss will be done next turn. I think the eco discovery is being delayed due to the hidden techs being in the discovery pool. Not all being eco techs. Some of these are really good. Just I have other priorities like getting to metal soil filtration and high-tech industry than fertility. Although the moment we have high-tech industry and metal soil filtration, fertility is definitely in the cards. Definitely in the cards for that. Yeah, bunch of useful stuff in there. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to bring this one to a close. So we're going to basically be picking up next time at the end of round 100. If you're watching on YouTube, you can probably expect the next part to be up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, let me go over the schedule for the next couple days. So today was Shadow Empire. Tomorrow is going to be day 3 of the Factorio Pteranodons mod. I think we're on the verge of potentially getting circuit boards going, so we'll see if we can get the circuit boards going and thus get into splitters and maybe even electric mining drills. We'll see how well or how far we can get. I might not have as much time to stream tomorrow as I have done during previous Factorio days, but Factorio will be tomorrow. Tomorrow is also the 15th. I brought it up earlier in the stream, but I did not realize that we had multiple major patches coming up for various games on the 15th. So we're going to be starting new games Songs of 6. So on the 16th, we'll be starting up a game in version 71. I believe I already have a poll up for what we should be playing. I'm not going to go spoil it for anyone watching live on YouTube. Or, I suppose, actually, probably less spoiling on YouTube because you probably could have snuck over to Twitch. I'm not going to spoil it for people watching live on Twitch how the poll is going. But if you want to vote in the poll and you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hop over to the YouTube channel. Or hop over to... not the YouTube channel. Hop over to Reddit, because that's where the poll is. And go to the Songs of 6 forum. If you sort by new, it should be relatively close to the top. If you want to have a vote on that. Same sort of thing for Stellaris. Stellaris, the next major patch does come out on the 15th, which is tomorrow, or potentially later today, depending upon where you are watching this from on Twitch. So on the 17th, instead of continuing the game that we started last time, we'll be starting a new game instead. I think we're basically going to keep the same Civ, but it's just going to be the next major patch. We're basically going to start over because the patch is a breaking save game breaker. And then we'll be back to back to Shadow Empire on Thursday, and then the cycle will continue. That's the upcoming plan for the next couple days. I hope you have been enjoying. If you're watching live on Twitch, now is a good time to leave a comment. If you're watching later on YouTube and you got something you want to respond to, for Shadow Empire, I do keep all the autosave turns. So if there's something you want to see on a particular turn, like I didn't look at a message or misread a message, or you suspect I have a report somewhere that would have been interesting to read, feel free to let me know. I can always make a short video about it. So with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.